Well, hello everyone. My name is Mitchell Mander, and it's been almost 10 months since my previous video. And I actually want to do a follow-up to that video because there's been some interesting changes with the upcoming Alola League. But that's neither here nor there, because today I want to talk about the upcoming Sword and Shield anime, because I'm very interested to see what this anime will do and what it will bring to the table. Now, while I'm currently enjoying the Sun and Moon anime and the various changes it's made to the show as a whole, I'm really interested to see what the Sword and Shield anime will do. Will it change the formula up like Sun and Moon has done? Will it go back to the old formula because we're getting gems in the games again? I'm just really intrigued to see what they're going to do. So, here are a few things that I want to see in this anime. Or I guess you can call these my hopes for this anime. Now, please keep in mind that these are my opinions. You are free to express yours in the comment section below. As long as you respect my opinion, I will respect yours. And without further ado, let's go. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is kind of a obvious hope, and it's a return to traveling. Now, I like Sun and Moon. Let me just make it clear. I really enjoy the Sun and Moon anime. There are a few things I don't like about it, but overall, I think it's a good series. It's probably around the second it's either number 2 or number 3 when it comes to the Pokemon series. I haven't really decided where it's at yet, but I'll probably figure that out when the series ends. But I do enjoy the show. However, one thing that has been different with this series is that Ash is not currently traveling. He's not traveling through the Alola region actively. Now, it's nice to see that Ash and his Pokemon are living with Professor Kukui, and he's going to Pokemon school with his friends. And that's cool, and it's made for some interesting episodes. And it's definitely interesting to see a more slice of life style in the anime. It's interesting, but at the same time it comes at the cost of utilizing Alola to its highest potential. The fact that the majority of the Sun and Moon anime is spent on Melemele Island because the Pokemon school is here is kind of a big issue. In my opinion, it kind of devalues the other islands because we're not really there a whole lot. Sure, we do have several episodes or several arcs that are dedicated to the islands, but then we go right back to Melemele Island. And that was kind of an issue. I don't want to get into it, but I was getting kind of bored of Melemele in Season 1, which is why it was so refreshing when we went to Akala Island during that season. And not to mention that Pokemon is really kind of a show about going on an adventure, going on a journey. That's what the show has been about. And while I don't hate Sun and Moon for that, it did kind of get away from what the show is all about. But the main reason I want to see traveling returning in this series is because of the Galar region. This region is huge. This is definitely the biggest region in the Pokemon series to date. And I want this region to be utilized to its fullest potential. I want it to be fully explored. The size of this region could actually limit the amount of filler in this series. And I don't want to have certain things in this show where they're traveling through generic forest backgrounds or going to, towns that are original towns in the series, like Hop Town from the original series. I really don't want that. I just want them to explore the locations that they do have in this region, and I want it to be explored to its fullest potential. Do whatever you can in each area, maximize it, and just do everything that hopefully the series does everything it can to make every part of the series, meaningful. Make every area in the region something that, I would like to go to or like to participate. Like if there's a festival in a certain area I'd like to participate in. Just the bottom line is, if we're returning to traveling, I want it to be traveling to its fullest potential. Another thing that I would like is higher quality battles, or an increased amount of battles in the Sword and Shield anime. And I don't want to keep ragging on the Sun and Moon anime. because I like it, as I stated. I like it that it does its own thing. I like the slice of life style. But if there's one thing that's been kind of a problem, that's been lackluster, that's, been kind of a drag with Sun and Moon, is its battles. And I can only count from the top of my head, really, there's only a handful of battles that I really enjoyed. Ash versus Misty, Kiawe versus Brock, which was the same episode, by the way. Ash versus Olivia, and I also recently enjoyed Ash versus Guzma. But the majority of the battles that are outside of these few are either really short, really underwhelming, end with a Z move, KO, or just last only about a minute or two, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Now, compared to X and Y, it has the best battles of the series, in my opinion, next to Diamond and Pearl. But it has some of the best looking battles, and that's because of the 3D camera and just the stuff they did with that series. Just look at the Kalos League. Yes, the Kalos League kind of sucked at the end, and it had a bunch of issues going on, but the battles were great. I don't think anyone can deny that. So what do you do when you take the high quality battles from X and Y with the 3D camera, mix it in with the fluid animation of Sun and Moon? What do you get? Yeah, I think the Sword and Shield anime, if that's the case, has the potential to have the best battles in all of Pokemon. So yeah, I hope OLM does this and makes this series, have higher quality battles than Sun and Moon. Another thing I wanted to mention is the female protagonist in the game. Please make her a main character. And yeah, I know she's become kind of a meme with the Scottish Pokemon trainer stuff. I don't care. She's adorable. Make her a traveling companion, please. Or make her a main character, whatever you do with this series. Please just integrate her in the show. I don't want them to take or do the same thing they've done with Moon, or Celine, I think that's what her name is in the Sun and Moon games, Hilda and Rosa, and not have them show up at all. Please let this character show up in the anime. Another thing I want is new goals. So, if we're going back to kind of the old format, I would like Ash's traveling companions to have brand new, fresh goals. One thing that I did like in Sun and Moon is that a lot of the characters had unique goals compared to other characters in the show, whether you like them or not. You can't deny that they're different, and some of them are kind of relatable. Like Mallow's goal of making her restaurant the best in Alola. That's kind of a relatable one, I guess. Sophocles wanted to be an astronaut. That's kind of relatable if you're, into that. But anyways, what I mean is I'd like the goal, the focus to be unique. For example, I personally think the main girl should have a goal focused on sports. Kind of like in the trailer in the original Sword and Shield trailer where the male protagonist in the games looks like they're going to go play soccer. That would actually be pretty cool. I would like that. And just look at Sun and Moon. We have Pokebase and Pokesled, and we have the various other sports that they have. These episodes have been very entertaining. And seeing as this region is based off the UK, I would like that. Maybe Pokesoccer? That would be cool. I'd like it. It could be enjoyable. Look at how enjoyable the fillers, or the sports-related fillers in Sun and Moon have been. I'll take that. Give her that goal. Another thing, too, is if one of the gym leaders, or gym masters, as they seem to be called in the Sword and Shield series, if one of them joins Ash, I would like them to have a goal that's not only relatable, but is important to the plot of the series. Like, make it meaningful. No offense to Brock, Clement, and Silent. Their goals were good, but were kind of in the background. I think Clement had the best one, in my opinion, just because his focus was, him being the 5th gym leader in the Kalos region, and there was a build-up there for Ash and Clement, and then after that, Clement kind of just fell to the wayside, unfortunately, as Serena and Bonnie just continuously outshined him throughout the rest of X and Y. So please, OM, make every character, make every main protagonist matter in this series. Give them relatable goals. Make their goals important to the plot of the series. Another thing that I'd like the Sword and Shield anime to do is to continue the world building that's present in Sun and Moon and expand it. Especially with the Galar region being so big, too. Now, the thing that I personally think this is probably one of Sun and Moon's strongest aspects is the fact that the series has great world building. And the reason it has great world building is mainly because it's, in one location, Meli Meli Island. But as they've traveled to each island, they've met a variety of characters that they've bonded with and they've had multiple episodes with. And it's given more meaning to the series. That's something I like about Sun and Moon. There are less characters of the day, and Sun and Moon has nailed this. And I really hope that the Sword and Shield anime continues this and even expands upon it, especially with a bigger region. Make every single character, make every Pokemon that's introduced, make everything matter. I don't want to see a lot of fillerish characters. And if Sun and Moon can do it, I think Sword and Shield could do it even better. And another thing I'd like to see is enjoyable fillers. Because, let's face it, yeah, fillers can be bad. There are bad fillers out there. And Pokemon has had some pretty bad fillers, and I don't even want to get into some of the bad ones. Just thinking about them kind of annoys me. But there's some very enjoyable fillers. In fact, some of Pokemon's best episodes are some of their less plot-focused episodes and more fillerish episodes, like the Island of the Giant Pokemon from the original series. The episode where Serena becomes Ash in X and Y. And then, of course, the Pokebase episode from Sun and Moon, which is one of my top favorite episodes from the Sun and Moon series so far. And Sun and Moon itself has had great fillers for the most part. And I would like to see Sword and Shield continue this, so please, OLM, please make it happen. Lastly, I'd like to see a reduced main cast with better character development. No offense to Sun and Moon, but I knew going into this that they weren't going to handle this properly. Not to say that it's been really bad, but there's just been some things in Sun and Moon that they really haven't done very well. In contrast, in my opinion at least, X and Y has been the series that's nailed its character development and its main cast. They got it right. They had a perfect amount of characters with 4 main characters. Each character had their own goals, development that was pretty much fully fleshed out. Now, like I said with Clement, he did have some issues since his development pretty much ended early, but it was still well done. Serena's was arguably one of the best for the Pokegirls. Probably up there with May, in my opinion. And Bonnie was a surprise because I initially thought that she was going to be annoying, but then she became one of my favorite characters from the series. Especially towards the end in X, Y, and Z. She was probably my favorite character that season. So yeah, I love what they did in X and Y. And even Ash got development in that whole arc with the Wolfric arc. That was great. And Sun and Moon hasn't exactly been able to nail this because it's had more main characters. It's had 6 main characters, 7 if you want to consider Kukui. And they've kind of struggled. Season 1 and Season 2, they didn't really do the best job. Certain characters like Lily and Kiawe seemed to get more focus, while characters like Mallow and Sophocles didn't really get much. Now, this has definitely gotten better. By Season 3, we've had actually a lot better character development. For some of these characters, both Mallow and Sophocles have improved dramatically. Lana has been pretty consistent. The only one that's kind of declined a bit is actually Lily, but Season 3 has done pretty good, but unfortunately it's a bit too late, in my opinion. So, for the Sword and Shield anime, I really want a reduced cast. That way they can just focus on these characters. And personally, I would like it to be just 3 main characters, Ash, and 2 main traveling companions. Because I really feel like these characters need the development and the screen time they need. Give the main girl her Pokesports focus with the Poke Soccer. Give the other character a great focus Just make it work, because I just really wish that Sun and Moon didn't have as many characters as it did, because it's pretty clear that they couldn't handle all of it. And I'm probably going to tackle that in a separate video at some point. But anyways, another thing that I'd like to see in regards to the development is the evil team. No, it's not that I hate Team Skull, it's just that they've been slightly lackluster. Because Team Skull, it seemed like they were going to be a major focus on the series. But then they kind of dropped off for a bit after their little bout with Team Rocket. They literally disappeared for like almost 40 episodes, I think. And then from there, their focus has been kind of scattered here and there. And then it didn't really get interesting until Guzma showed up. So they've been kind of a letdown, in my opinion, especially compared to Team Flare. Because Team Flare, they improved big time from the games. And I don't feel like Team Skull from the anime is as good as Team Skull from the games. Just my opinion. But yeah, hopefully they do a better job with the next team. Oh, but I will say that Team Rocket has been great in Sun and Moon. So, Sword and Shield continue to make Team Rocket great. They were fantastic in Sun and Moon. I don't know how they're going to top the Beware gag, but if you can somehow do that, please do that, or bring Beware and Mimikyu to Galar. That would be great, I guess. Anyways, that's pretty much my main hopes for the Sword and Shield anime. Guys, this is open to you now. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with what I have to say? Do you disagree? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And with that said, I'm going to go to bed. Until next time, Mitchell Mander is out. Goodbye. See yas. So I filmed the first part of this video before the June 5th direct, and all I have to say is Sonya better be one of Ash's traveling companions. If not, the anime will be a total failure. That is all.